Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Simon and we are the Whales of Wall Street. Today we're going to be looking at three awesome crypto asset charts. We're going to be looking at Polkadot or DOT, Link for ChainLink, and also Solana, which is SOL on the exchange. Before we go ahead with that, please do subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already, and make sure you press that notification bell so that you get all the notifications of all the awesome videos that we throw your way. We are approaching 500 subscribers very, very quickly, and we would love you guys to be a part of this growth also. So now we've got that out of the way, let's go straight into the charts here, and we will begin with Polkadot. So first of all, I'm trying to use the TradingView platform now, so hopefully it looks a bit neater than the previous videos. We will get there eventually, I am sure. But at the moment, Polkadot, let's go. So we're approaching the awesome line here of nearly $25. We haven't seen this for some time. In fact, the last sort of time was about literally a month ago. We are still a bit far off the main numbers here, where we're approaching, if not already on, the $50 mark. So we are kind of halfway there. There's a couple of pointers I want to bring to attention right now. Here's the V shape here that I mentioned in various videos over the last couple of weeks. This since then, as in towards the third quarter of July, we have seen some great movement on Polkadot. Now, where are we now, you ask? So we've had good resistance and support so far of that $21 to $20 mark. We are approaching the 25, and we have seen a bit of resistance at this level currently today. That does not mean that we could not break that in the next 24 to 48 hours. It would be really interesting to see if we can do that. I will do an update in a couple of days' time to progress this chart a bit further, and then we can also develop some potential price predictions based on this information as well. So I'm really interested in the next 48 hours to the rest of the end of this week, perhaps until at least Sunday, to see where we get to on here. We kind of pretty much went straight past the $15, $16 support line. We went straight up to the 20 over a period of a week or so, and we haven't really seen some major resistance just yet. We did see a bit of a collation of a support line over a couple of days around this area, in fact 3 days actually, before another growth pattern here. The volumes are quite steady, so there is still a bit of movement here. And if we look at the RSI in terms of whether we're overbought or underpurchased, we are relatively in that sort of third quarter to 100. I would be anticipating that there is still a bit of movement left in the tank, and I do think that movement will see whether we go above the 25 and stay there, or accelerate a bit further, who knows, to that next level of potentially up to the $28 to $30 mark. But first of all, I want to see this here. I don't want to jump to conclusions just as of yet and get everyone hyped. I think it's really important to stay level-headed on this approach and see whether we can break that 25 support line and stick on it, or hopefully rise above it. So really important next few days for Polkadot. And on the MACDs as well, the ones that I've got set up here, we are seeing the MACD narrowing slightly. So we do need to anticipate, as I've mentioned with the RSI, yes, we're a bit overpurchased, still a bit to go, but there is an indication that at some point we will hit a support level mechanism, which we haven't seen really since that sort of 21st or 20th of July mark, where we did the switch over here. So let's just take this into consideration. This area here was quite large in the MACD, which would indicate that we had the very good growth, which you can see on the chart here. But importantly right now is this line, making sure that these don't cross over. But like I said, I think we've got a good week left to anticipate what is going on. But I'm really excited to see Polkadot rising again. I think there's been a lot of talk about a lot of the other crypto assets on there, and this has kind of gone under the radar in a lot of instances. So let's keep an eye on that. It's still, in terms of the technical side of things, it's still in the buying area of the in terms of buying and selling. So it's very much still on a positive aspect of the Polkadot chart here. So let's keep an eye on that. And in terms of statistics here as well, the last week we've had a 15% increase, 77% on last month. And in terms of year to date, to be fair, despite the major rise that we had with Polkadot and the major drop, we're still 166% up year to date. So from August last year. So it'd be really interesting to see where we end up with Polkadot in 2021. Let us know in the comments below what your price predictions are for Polkadot. And we will do the same in the next video towards the end of this week. And we'll also mention some of your price predictions as well in the next video. We'll go straight now into Link. I do like pairing these two up, I have to say, because again, they are quite similar to the video we did with VeChain 1 and ZIL. I like to keep it that way just to keep everyone a bit more concise and with the charts as well, so it's hopefully a bit easier for you guys to see and for me to go through in one go. Here's the V again. Again, similar pattern. If you look between Polkadot and Link, it is very, very similar. The only aspects here I would be saying is that similar aspect here of the sort of $27, $28 resistance level here that we got a support line on, and we're edging over the $30 mark, which we have done so today. I'm really intrigued to see if we can get up to the 32.50, but I think that's maybe a few days off. And in terms of the volumes, they are breaking down slightly, but they are leveling off by the looks of things. And again, with the RSI, similar to Polkadot, there is still a bit of movement left here. I really do believe so. And I think that's indicated as well in the volumes of being so positive. Of course, we might see a bit of a level off and a support before we rise up again. But I do anticipate us to do so and rise a bit more with that bullish momentum that we've seen over the last month with Link. And essentially as well on the MACD here, you can also see that this is narrowing slightly as it was compared to the big growth spurt we had in this period. So do anticipate that we are maybe leveling off at some point in the next week or two for sure. But of course, we do want to see those levels again, like we saw a few months back, hitting over that $50 mark. We are on our way, guys, absolutely on our way for sure. It will take a bit more time, but I am absolutely confident that this will happen sooner rather than later. And again, 14% up on the week, very, very similar to Polkadot, of course, as well. And year to date, 163%. So we're doing very, very well. And we're in a strong buy signal area still on the technical radar here, which you can't see, unfortunately, with the frame. We are adjusting things as time goes on, but we are in a strong buy mode according to the technical analysis of the TradeView platform. So hopefully that's wrapped up Link in a sensible format for you guys. Do let us know in the comments below, are you invested in Link? And if not, is it something that you are interested in? And we will also follow up on this towards the end of the week as promised as well. We will also do proper intro videos to Polkadot and Link as well, or ChainLink, sorry, just to make sure everyone's clear on what the projects are. I'm sure you've seen many videos out there already, but we'll do our take on it for sure, no problem. Finally, Solana. Now, this one's of interest because I stupidly missed out on this when it was about $6 way back towards the beginning of the year, I believe. And I kind of ignored it up until this sort of period here. And I thought to myself, it's a bit too late, so I'll wait till the drop. I've watched this and I haven't really invested in it still, personally. I know Steve has some, but I didn't personally, just because I was more focused on some other projects and I didn't want to, just chuck money out willy-nilly. So this particular project, again, we'll do an individual video on this for sure. But there have been staggering increases over this last period of time in this year to date. Nearly 4,000% increase of growth. Absolutely phenomenal. 48% on the week. Now, this, guys, is a fantastic project. Like I said, we will go into detail on another video. But what I'm really interested in is this chart right now, because we seem to be absolutely smashing past these very, much great support lines here. We've gone straight past the 50. We've gone straight past the 60. I do anticipate we'll have a bit of a tail off, but look at this. This is really expanding, this MACD lines here. And it'd be really interesting over the next 48 hours to see how this levels off. Whether it goes straight to the next level up will remain to be seen. But of course, we have been to these levels before. I think actually we've gone past the all-time high today. So fantastic. Congratulations to those that are invested in Solana and the project itself, of course. But this takes me to my point here that we have gone relatively past this support level of $44, of which we have gone through at least 3 times in the last few months. But what I'm really interested in is, are we going to find support or resistance at this current level? After we've seen us go to the all-time high, I'm sure that will indicate some sell-offs, of course, as profits are made or people are returning to profit or break even. And anticipating perhaps a bit more of a rise. On the RSI, it's really important to note that it's on 84 on the 14-day currently. There is potentially, very much potentially, still a teeny weeny bit of movement left on the upside, but I do anticipate a bit of a tail off, as this has been substantial growth up to this point, and the last 48 hours especially. And I do think that eventually we'll come back and test that $50 mark. I do think we need to test that a couple of times over this period. But let's see how we go. There have been some fantastic partnership announcements with Solana recently across multiple platforms and chains. But let's see in the next 48 hours where we are. And we will do a video, as I mentioned, towards the end of this week, if not the same time next week, to review this scenario and look back at what we've just gone through, and then we can have a better indication as to where we are sitting moving forward with Solana as a project and on this chart in particular as well.